Take what you like, leave what you don't like. At the end of the day, this is your song. You can do with your song whatever it is that you want to do. For me, my job as your voice teacher, as your vocal coach, is to make sure that you are A, aware of what it is that you are doing, and B, that you have options to choose from. Because when we have options, we can pick how we want to sing a song, compared to when we don't have options, well, then the notes just come out the way they come out. Hey Voxstar, and welcome to From Singer to Artist. I'm Lara Chapman, award-winning singer and songwriter turned viral vocal coach and the host of this show. At VoxTape Studios, we help singers from all over the world level up their voices by teaching them the 3 fundamental skills all singers need: technique, awareness, and artistry. Whether you're looking to go pro or just develop your voice for fun, my team and I are here to help. Check the link in the description to book your first session or grab some of our other resources. Alrighty, are you ready? Let's get started. My friend, it is time for another vocal evaluation episode. Today, we've got 3 awesome singers, and actually the theme for today is original songs. So we always love working on original songs, meaning songs that our students have written. It obviously covers as well, but there's always something so special about working on an original song with a singer, because it really helps them find their own sound, because there's nobody who has sung this song before you, so you don't have like a clear idea of what this song should sound like. And this can be really great to help you find your own sound. Is when you're singing an original song, some things nobody else has sung before. And we love helping our students with songwriting as well. We have a songwriting program at VoxTape Studios as well, originally taught by me, taken over by Coach Juliana from our team. And we love working on original stuff. So let's get into it. First singer and songwriter of the day is Beverly. Beverly is working on different melodies throughout a song. All of my songs sound the same from beginning to the end. And breath control. Open to all critiques. Alrighty, Beverly, let's have a listen.
For anyone in this world who's ever tried to hurt me, I hope you're listening to this song, because I wrote it to let you know I was built for tough, and that you weren't strong enough to break me, baby, for anyone in this world.
Okay, great. So obviously super musical, because your snaps are spot on every time. Ta, ta. It's always perfect on that 2 and the 4. So, bravo, because that's sometimes a skill that we need to work on with our singers too. It's just like understanding beat and groove in music. You obviously understand that either naturally or it's something you learned. Either way, it doesn't matter. You got that skill down. So bravo. I love that. I hear what you're saying with, you're struggling with creating different kinds of melodies, and it sounds the same from A to Z. Obviously, this has only been the first 35 seconds of your song, but so far, I can sing the entire thing back to you, because it's always ba-da-da-da-da, ba-dum-ba-da-da, and it just keeps repeating that, right? So it's that same melody over and over again, obviously with different lyrics, and that is something that we want to work on. It can be tricky. I can so relate how once we have a melody stuck in our head, it is so difficult to come up with something else. Now, you're also singing this a cappella, meaning there is no other music. I don't know if there is like a track or some sort of music that you have in mind for this. Sometimes working together with a track, what I like to do is just go on YouTube or Beatopia and just type in Ariana Grande type beat or whoever type beat, and then go through some of these beats, some of these tracks that producers have created, and see what I like. And if I find something that inspires me, I write a song to that. That would then actually be called top lining when you're only writing the melody and the lyrics of a song, not also the chord progression. The chord progression would be a part of the production, but that doesn't matter. And sometimes these songs are free to use. Sometimes you have to pay to use them. What I like to do is just use them as demos. And then if I want to actually create a song out of it, I would work with a producer to create a completely new track that is inspired by this other track that I used as like an inspiration. But anyways, so that can help, just having some sort of music underneath so that you can kind of break out of that pattern. Now, songwriting wise, here are a couple things that you can try to get out of that pattern. The first thing I would do is change the beginning note. So if I am listening to this, for anyone in this, right? Ba-dum-ba, that's kind of where you're starting. Da-da-da-da-da, that's your first note. So what I could do is, if I'm going to a new song section, I am changing that beginning note. I could take it higher, higher. There you go. That's already now a different melody. Or I can go lower. I don't know. I'm just making up melodies now. But see how that's already completely different from what you were doing just because I changed the beginning note, right? Just getting away from that first note then takes your creativity somewhere else. So that's the first thing you can do, is change the beginning note. Another thing you can do is change the rhythm of it. So instead of following ba-dum-ba-ba-ba-ba, which is, quite wordy, I could try and have a section or like a melody in a different song section that's a little bit more elongated, like longer, held out notes. So instead of ba-da-ba, I could go more ba-da-da-da-da-da. That already is different, but it's very similar. Like the notes are very similar to what you were doing, but it is still different because I have elongated the notes now. So that's another thing you can try. So we have changing the starting pitch. We have changing the note length, the feel of the song. Those are my two go-to things when I don't really know how to break out of this habit. Another thing is literally going the opposite direction with your melody as where you're going. So you're going ba-dum-ba-ba-ba, you're kind of going up, right? So what if instead of going up, ba-dum-ba-ba-ba, we go ba-dum-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da. Now I'm going down. So we're basically just, again, going in opposite direction. One goes up, one goes down, but still similar otherwise. Those are my three go-to things. I would recommend giving those a try. Drop the lyrics, right? Like just play around with the melody, drop the lyrics completely, and see what can we do to play around with the melody just for the notes. And then bring the lyrics back in whenever you have certain lyrics, like bring those lyrics in, but just start with the notes, just the melody first, okay? So those are some songwriting things that you can do. I do want to mention one more thing. When we are listening to a song, there's usually song sections, right? We have a verse, we have a pre-chorus, we have a chorus, and we have a bridge. And those are like the four most common song sections. Not all songs use all four. And how we assemble the song together is going to be a little bit different from song to song. But what I'm trying to say is within a song section, we want to have repetition. Between song sections, we want to have contrast. So, for example, with your song, ba-dum-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-dum-ba-da-da-da-da, ba-dum-da-da-da-da, ba-dum-ba-ba-da-dum-ba-da. That's a song section. I changed that last phrase a little bit so it's not exactly the same thing 4 times in a row. And then we move on to maybe like a pre-chorus. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Pre-chorus going into the da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, into the chorus. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know if any of this is good or anywhere where you'd like to go with this song. But did you hear how the song sections, it was clear because there was like, this is repetition, right? And now I feel like I am moving through the song. And then after the chorus, we go back into the verse. And then whatever I did for the pre-chorus, I don't remember. But, it's on recording, so you can listen back to it. But anyways, right? So that way we have clear sections and we feel like we are moving through the song and we know where we are at. We're not getting lost, right? We need to have repetition within a song section and contrast between the different song sections so that we know we are now in a different part of the song. Yeah? Okay, cool. Some songwriting tips for you here. I love it. I do want to continue listening through this and see if we can maybe talk about some vocal things too.
Who's ever done me wrong? I hope you're listening to this song because I wrote it to let you know I'm a true baby, thankful for how the Lord has made me, cause I'm a true baby. I know you tried to hurt me.
Okay, yeah, so, you're not making your life easy by, picking this key that you picked, but it sounds really great in your voice. I actually really enjoy this. For me, I would probably have to bring it down because I just have a naturally lower pitched voice than you. But I like where it sits in your voice, so that's great. You have slight nasal undertones, so just make kind of la 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 la. All right, so make sure that you're not getting stuck in your nose a little. Just it's slight. I'm being very nitpicky here. But what you can try to work on this is just holding your nose closed. La 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 la, and so forth, right? So drop the lyrics because when you're singing M, N, or NG sounds, for anyone, it's going to be really difficult to close your nose and still get the words out right because M, N, and NG are completely nasal sounds, meaning all of the air and the sound is coming out of your nose and nothing out of your mouth. And if you close your nose, it's going to be difficult to get those notes out, right? So, you can just do it on la, 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 la. Once that feels good and like, oh yeah, I'm completely in my mouth now, you can drop that, drop the hands, stop closing your nose and sing again, and normally with the lyrics and see if that made a change at all. Otherwise, what you can also do is just imagine a little bit more space, almost like a tiny little balloon that you blew up in the back of your mouth, because that space that creates back here is going to lift the soft palate. And when the soft palate is lifted, it blocks off the nasal cavity. And when the nasal cavity is blocked off, the sound can't go up into our nasal cavity, aka we can't sound nasally. Yay! So again, creating a little bit more space back here, blowing up that imaginary balloon in the back of your mouth. For anyone in this world. That actually makes it a lot easier for me to sing these notes. So mental note for myself, create more space back here, but it also is going to get you out of your nose, okay? We're almost done here with this.
But you couldn't break me. Not even the coldest wind could shake me. Cause I'm a true baby. Thankful for how the Lord has made me.
Yeah, how the Lord has made me. How the Lord. You just overshot that note there a little bit. You got a little excited about it. That's okay. That happens. That's what live singing is, it's pretty difficult to be on pitch 100% of the time. I'm not going to say impossible, but pretty difficult. And that's not the goal here with this either. Your pitch otherwise is actually really good. So I'm not worried about that. Lord has made me. I'm not worried about that note at all. But well done. Congratulations, Beverly. Well done. I'm excited to hear more about this song and see, with those tips that we looked at, if you can create more contrast between the different song sections so that we can break it up a little bit and it doesn't feel like you're constantly doing the same thing. And by the way, this is exactly what we teach in our songwriting program with Coach Juliana. She's our songwriting coach here at VoxTape Studios, in addition to our artist development coach. And so what we teach you is how to create repetition, which you are really good at, but also how to create contrast so that it's not over and over and over and over again the same thing. Because in songwriting, that's really all it comes down to, finding the balance between repetition and contrast. If there's not enough contrast, like with your song here right now, the way it is right now, it becomes too repetitive, and then it's like, okay, we heard it. Like, we don't need to hear the same thing over and over and over again, right? But if there's not enough repetition, that's also a problem, because then nobody can sing the song back to you. Because nobody is going to remember what you did because you didn't repeat anything. So like I said, within a song section, we want to create repetition. Between song sections, we want to create contrast. And that's what Juliana can help you with in our songwriting program. I'm also working on a self-guided songwriting for singers course as well. So stay tuned for that, where we take this program and, transform it into a self-guided program. But in it, we teach you the repetition and contrast thing, and just more detailed things as well, like our 4-step lyric writing formula to make sure that you're not writing cliche lyrics, that your lyrics, feel like they're telling a story, that you're moving the story throughout the song. You're not just repeating the same things over and over again, that they are relatable, detailed, and obviously melody writing, like I talked about as well. And also demo recording. We teach you how to record your own demos so that, by the time you are done with the program, which is 12 weeks long, you have 2 to 3, if not 4 demos at the end of it too. So you have like actual songs that you wrote, and they're yours. You have a recording of those songs, which is a lot of fun. And most importantly, you have a system to write songs, from not even having an idea of where to start to like, okay, I know what I'm going to write about. I have a system that I can follow and actually finish the whole song too. So anyways, let's move on. We've got, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, Gertian. I hope I didn't completely butcher your name. If I did, I am so sorry. But we got another original song here. Gertian is working on, I don't think my singing is lively or organic enough. I feel like I'm a better songwriter than singing and jaw tension. Alrighty, let's have a listen. That song is stuck in my head now because there was so much repetition. But that's the power of repetition, and Beverly's got that. Alrighty, Gertian, let's have a listen.
When you're feeling very small, not confident at all.
At all. Nice. I like that.
Not sure where to start, uncertain of your part. When life feels dead hard, and don't despair, honey. Better times will be upon you. Better times are laying ahead. You just need small steps.
Okay, great. I'm going to pause there and go back to the beginning now that we get a little bit of a feeling for the song. So, here with Gertian's song, we can clearly hear where he's going into the chorus, which is great. And so, we can learn a lot from analyzing other people's songs and just being like, okay, what did they change here? How is this new melody in the chorus here different from the melody in the verse? What did this person change? And then just copy it, but for your own song. You can learn a lot by just analyzing other people's songs. But anyways, I want to focus a little bit more on the vocal performance here of the song rather than the songwriting, because that's what Gertian was asking for. So let's focus more on the singing and see what we've got here.
When you're feeling very small.
Okay, when you're feeling very small. So there, Okay. You know pronunciation, right? Like articulation. When you're feeling very small, like that can sometimes be a great thing. And sometimes it's almost like now it doesn't sound lively or natural anymore. It's almost like, I don't know, almost like too musical theater-y or just too proper. So what you can try here, instead of singing very small, small with an L, you can almost sing like feeling very small, 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 small with an ooh, small rather than small. And that already just adds a little bit more character. Same thing with feeling. So instead of singing feeling, we sing feelin'. When you're feeling very small. And that already is completely different from when you're feeling very small. Slight difference, but it makes all the difference in the end. So just like some, like little articulation tips there. Be a little bit lazier in your articulation. Also, I would love to hear a little bit of a softer tone here in the beginning. When you're feeling very small, compared to when you're feeling very small. When. I literally sang when you're feeling instead of when you're feeling. Excuse me. But yeah, so just, a softer side of your voice, a softer tone to really pick us up in the beginning of the song and ease us into it and build that dynamic range.
Not confident at all.
Yeah, at all. Same thing there, at all. Is it at all? Right, we're kind of dropping that l sound. At all. Not confident at all. You could even go like confident at all. Like keep the at all really short or at all. Hold it, but in a soft voice. So again, like playing around with different tones here, and in the beginning of the song here, mostly softer tones, I think it's going to do a lot for you.
You're not sure where to start.
I love that.
Uncertain of your part. When life feels dead hard.
Yeah. Feels that hard. So that part right there, the word that. Dead. You're kind of singing dead hard. So for me, it sounds like you're singing when life feels dead hard. Like dead, like and not that hard. So careful there with the vowel, because if we modify the vowel too much, it can make it sound like we're singing a different word than we're actually singing. Because it's not like, I could see how you would be singing dead hard. It's dead hard. I could be like, yeah, okay, sure. That kind of makes sense. I wouldn't say it like that, but I could see how in a song that would make sense. But that's not the word. Excuse me. That's not the word you're saying here. It's that hard. That hard. So think more long, that hard, rather than dead hard. All right, a little bit less wide, a little bit more long, baby. Hard. So the of hard, only add that at the very end, because otherwise it kind of sounds like hard compared to hard. Right? So we want to delay that sound till the end of it. In most cases, if you love the hard sound, then I'm like, go for it. We hear that in country music quite frequently, actually. Just kind of depends on the style that you're going for. Just something to be aware of.
Don't despair, honey.
Yeah. Honey, 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 honey. Don't despair, honey, honey, honey. Hear the difference? Again, it's like we're making our articulation, our pronunciation lazier. That's really all it comes down to. It's just making it lazy. And that will help a lot with this.
Better times will be upon you. Better times are laying ahead. You just need small steps.
Yeah, just need small steps. Can you keep that note short? Just keep small steps. You just need small steps. Small steps compared to small steps. If you like the long note, go with it. Like this is your song and you do whatever it is you want to do. I feel like this would be a great opportunity for a short note. It just needs small steps. A lot of times as singers, we like to over sing. We like to hold out notes and fill all of the dead space as much as possible. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing here at all. I'm just saying in general, we like to over sing as singers. I used to be very guilty of that as well. But sometimes what makes a vocal performance so great is the space that we're leaving in between the phrases. You just need small steps. Like just having that space there, that space to breathe can really elevate your performance there too. But it's really up to you. It's not like you held out the note for a really long time, but I just felt like this would be a really good opportunity to keep the note really short.
All you have to do is open your ears and bite.
All you have to, it's just a little strained up there. You mentioned jaw tension. Just looking at your neck, it does look like you're a little reaching, and those neck muscles are popping out a little bit. Try singing that phrase while shaking your head. If you at all can, while playing the guitar, it might be a little difficult, but give it a shot. And just kind of shake that loose. One thing you can try as well is adding an H in front of all. All you have to do. Just to practice, not in the end performance, but just to get that breath flow going, and it's not quite so tight. It's a little bit more flowy. All you have to do, and then all you have to do is just decrease that H sound. All you have to do, but still keep that breath flowing. And the neck.
And by the sound of a bird, be a smile for your tears. All you have to do is open your eyes, and by the colors of flowers, you start feeling light.
Yeah.
All you have to do is start singing a song, and by the feel of the tune, you start tapping along. All you have to take are small steps.
Okay.
Just a small steps.
I like
it. Get you back on track.
Yeah, get you back on track. Get you back. That's probably the note. Get you back on track. Get you back on track. Back. Make sure it's back and not back. Back on track. Back on track. Yeah, just a little bit longer rather than wide here. On these higher notes, and then just the neck for you with these higher notes in this chorus. I think what's going to make the biggest difference is focusing on flow, right? Like breath flow, and just really focusing on exhaling as much as you can, right? Really using all the breath you have to get these notes out. That doesn't mean get louder. It just means let the vocal folds pass the air through. Because it sounds like your vocal folds are coming together just a little tightly, and then not as much air can flow through the vocal folds, and the air is basically our vehicle, right? It's what carries the sound out. Without breath, there is no sound. And so if the vocal folds are closing a little too tightly, then it's difficult to get that sound out. So if you can focus a little bit more on opening those vocal folds a little more to let more air come through and focus on that breath flowing through you and carrying your notes out. I think that's really going to open up your voice more, give you a fuller sound, let the sound come out, and sing with a little bit less effort, a little bit less strain and tension. But well done, Gertian! I love it. I really hope I'm saying your name right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. But yeah, really nice song. You've got some really cute chords in there too. Like, it's interesting to listen to. So I really enjoyed the song. Well done. But yeah, I hope these little singing tips are going to help you. In case you didn't know, you can get your own vocal evaluation, whether it's an original song or something completely different. It doesn't matter. Anything you want feedback on from me and my team, we're happy to help. We can even do private evaluations where we're not sharing it with everybody on the internet too, but just for us coaches and you. And we literally videotape ourselves doing exactly this, right? Like going through your your song section by section, phrase by phrase, whether it's an original song or a cover, doesn't matter, and give you detailed feedback of what we are hearing and give you exercise recommendations to practice as well. So if you want to get your own evaluation from me or my team, check the link below. We'd love to help you. And don't worry, you can let us know. Like I said, where you're submitting your video, you can let us know if you want to keep this clip private or public. You can let us know. Don't you worry. Alrighty, we've got one more. We've got Lynette. So Lynette is working on, I often feel tension when singing or feel weak when using my head voice. Alrighty, Lynette, let's have a listen, see what's going on. I do want to start by saying, our head voice is very different from our chest voice. The higher we go in pitch, the thinner your voice gets. Like literally your vocal folds stretch really long and they get thinner. They're like a rubber band. You cannot stretch a rubber band and keep the same thickness in the rubber band. When you stretch a rubber band, it gets thinner. It's the same thing for the voice. So as we are going up in pitch, you will feel quote unquote weaker or thinner up there because that's literally what's happening in your vocal folds. But there are obviously things that we can do to train the voice to not lose all the power up there if we want to beef it up a little bit. But I just wanted to start by saying that. Alrighty, Lynette, let's have a listen.
So why are my eyes slightly red? Melancholy pain in my head, and feel fire in my hands. It burns to do things I dread. Maybe if I'm like that again.
Okay, I hear the head voice. I hear it. I just wanted to keep going until we can hear the head voice because that's something you specifically pointed out. Ooh, this is really beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want you to sing this with any more power. It's beautiful. It's so angelic and floaty and raw compared to like a na 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 na. Now, maybe what we would want to do though is the first, I assume this is your chorus, I don't know, I'm just making assumptions here, but na 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 na. Maybe the first time we're singing this is more in that soft, angelic kind of voice like you're singing it right now, which is perfection and I love it. And then when it comes again in the song, it's more da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're giving it a little more oomph, but it's still not like super powerful or anything like that by any means. But I love this. So I want to go again from the beginning because there are a couple things in the lower notes that I wanted to point out as well. So let's go through it section by section.
So why are my eyes slightly red? Melancholy pain in my head.
Okay, so this first part here, these first 15 seconds, I think are pretty damn close to perfect, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I really, really like this because you're picking us up where we're at, like at the beginning of the song, nice and soft, and you're not overworking. You have unique pronunciation, but I don't mind it. It gives you a little bit of character. I like it.
Feel fire.
Okay, I feel fire, fire, fire. You're kind of giving it that fire, fire. Hear the difference? So fire, fire, fire versus fire, fire, fire. I don't mind either way. I think both of these options would be great. Just wanted to point that out that you could try something else there if you wanted to. I don't mind it. You are slightly pushing your jaw forward there on that note, so just be mindful of that.
In my hands, it burns to do things I
inside dread. So on dread, I feel like you're getting just a little shaky. Maybe shaky is the right word. Just a little, you're losing just a little bit of control up there. And I think it's because you're working a little harder than you have to. And like also volume wise, I would love to keep that note up there. Dread. Just a little softer. And I think that's going to help you feel a little bit more stable up there in that note. But other than that, like honestly, I really like everything about this. So when we're singing really softly and we have these long phrases, it's really difficult to not run out of breath before we reach the end of the phrase. But you keep going with it. It'll be time to go to bed. Make sure that breath that you're taking there, that's a good quality breath. I think you can get just a little bit more breath in so that go to bed, that you can feel a little more stable there all the way through the end of the note on bed. But yeah, it's just a matter of getting just a little bit more breath into your lungs there.
Worries of tomorrow and silence taking over this mess.
Okay, so so on that I do feel like, okay, we heard that beautiful, angelic, floaty head voice, breathy head voice, falsetto, whatever it is you want to call it, for like a good 2 long phrases. Now when we get into that repetitive, hear kind of how I'm like creating that push and pull effect, like that wavy effect. You don't have to go like crazy big with it, but working there and giving me just a little more voice, like what you were talking about, I think could be really cool in this part. And then when you get down to that note, pull it back again and get soft again, just so that we can play with the dynamic range a little bit more. So how would we change that? First, we got to get a little bit more vocal fold closure so that it's not too breathy. So it's not da 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 da, but more da 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 da. Right? So we got to just get a little bit more vocal fold closure. Now, how do we practice that? Try dropping the lyrics and just do everything on g. Ga 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 ga. Just adding those G sounds gives you a little bit more firm vocal fold closure. So that's going to help stop the breathy sound a little bit. And then obviously, once you're used to that and you feel like, yep, I'm getting a little bit more rid of that breathy sound, then put the lyrics back in and see if you can stay in that na 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 na, not breathy sound. And if that's right, then we got to just play around with the shape of your vocal tract to get exactly the kind of sound that you want to get up there. Like, do we want to make it a little brighter, or do we just want to reduce the breathiness and still keep it soft and more warm? That is then up to you. I do believe that just reducing the breathiness is going to do a lot for you. So na 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 na. If we want to make it brighter, we don't have to go like na 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 na. That's a lot. But just to get more of that bright kind of sound, think more shooting the sound through through the roof of your mouth, through the hard palate. Hard surfaces, like if we send the sound to hard surfaces, it creates a brighter sound. And if we send the sound to soft surfaces, like the soft palate further back, it creates a more warm, darker sound. Hard surfaces are more reflective and soft surfaces are more absorbent. Is that a word? Anyways, it absorbs more, and hard surfaces reflect more, which makes it brighter. Okay, so na 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 na. I'm thinking more forward compared to na 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 na. I'm thinking a little bit more back here, back in the more in the soft palate range of my mouth. Area of my mouth. So that is then up to you how you want to play around with it, like how bright or how more dark and warm do you want the tone to be. But I would love to hear more that yeah, just that more connected sound up there. And then where's where we get breathy again. That'd be awesome.
Familiar or less.
Yeah, familiar or less. You could even play with some like crescendoing there on familiar. Familiar or less. And then pull back again on or less. A crescendo means getting louder as you are sustaining the notes. Familiar. That's an extreme version of that. I probably wouldn't do quite that much. But yeah, you're just getting a little bit louder on that note. If you want to, if you prefer just going familiar or less, I think that would be absolutely beautiful as well. Or familiar or less. Give a little bit more of that more connected sound that we were talking about for same thing as that there. And then going to or less. Back into that softer, breathier head voice falsetto type sound. You're literally, the sky's the limit. You can play around with it. But oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I love the song. I love your voice too. You have those beautiful angelic high notes up there. Now it's just a matter of, okay, how can we work on getting a little bit more vocal fold closure up there in these high notes, and then play around with the placement. More forward makes it more bright, more back makes it a little bit darker, and then just play around with that until you get exactly the sound that you're looking for. But well done, Lynette. Give it up for Lynette. Woo! I love it. Thank you guys for sharing your original songs with me. Again, like I said, we love working on original music with our students. It just is a lot of fun. And, we get to help you with your song and the vocal performance of your song and make it come to life exactly the way you envisioned it. So with this, because, I'm not getting your feedback, like immediately, like these people that, whose songs we just looked at, I just gave a couple recommendations of things that you can try. Take what you like, leave what you don't like. At the end of the day, this is your song. You can do with your song whatever it is that you want to do. For me, my job as your voice teacher, as your vocal coach, is to make sure that you are A, aware of what it is that you are doing, and B, that you have options to choose from. Because when we have options, we can pick how we want to sing a song, compared to when we don't have options, well, then the notes just come out the way they come out. So for example, with Lynette here in this last example, if we have options, if we can choose to sing it more breathy or more connected, if we can choose to sing it more bright or more dark, more forward, more back, then we can make the song come to life by using different kinds of placements and tones and embellishments and all that stuff, using different options, and just going with what feels best to you, what you like the best, rather than the only option we have, which is just what your voice can do, right? So that's my job, making sure that you are aware of what it is you're doing and that you have options to pick from. And then it is your choice how you want to creatively and authentically express yourself. Obviously, we are always happy to support you on that journey and figure out what makes sense here storytelling wise, what sounds great, and just give you our opinion if you want it. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Whatever you want to do with your song is totally fine with me. Anyways, that is it for today. Thank you so much for submitting your videos. We love doing these evaluations, and we'll catch you in the next one.